Hey, remember that boss raid character tier list that I made a while ago? Well, it is now slightly incorrect. So in this video, we're gonna talk about the new and updated boss raid character tier list. For this version of the list, I focused on one thing: versatility. Most of these characters have one game mode or position that they do best in, but we're gonna talk about all the boss raid characters as if you're going to use them as both mains and assists for all game modes. And here's the list. But don't click off quite yet, since I want to explain why some characters have been moved and why I put some characters in the spots that they're at. And I also want to explain why I changed the positioning of some characters. First, let's start off with why Eren is now in the B tier when he previously was in the S tier. Eren previously was an absolutely broken character when it came to boss modes, since there was a glitch that involved him and Yorichi. This glitch basically gave Eren 0 cooldowns. If it were not for the glitch being patched and a nerf affecting energy gain on certain characters, he would still be in the S tier as one of the best boss killers. But the devs nerfed him into his own Titan-sized grave. So, rest in peace, King. You deserve it. Drop an F in the chat for Eren. Now for Witch Megumin. If you remember from the previous list, Witch Megumin was in the high S tier since she is the meta main for Time Challenge, and she still is even to this day. But since this list is now focused around versatility, she's now in the high B tier. Her damage as a boss killer is not great, and she's slow, so she's not an ideal Dimension main. Now let's talk about the Awakening characters. I wanted to include the Awakening characters in this list, but I couldn't do it earlier since I didn't have any of the Awakening characters, and I wanted to test them out before I actually gave an opinion about them. But as of right now, there are 5 boss raid characters that have awakenings. Kirito, Levi, Rengoku, Gear 5 Luffy, and Naruto Kurama mode all have awakenings. These awakenings are usually very good and can make a character much better than what they were unawakened. Not only do these characters benefit from these optional buffs as mains, but also as assists. As you can see on screen now, this is the placement of all the awakened characters amongst the regular boss raid character. Levi and Naruto are among the best because they are awesome as both mains and assists. Rengoku and Kirito are in the A tier because they are much stronger than their unawakened counterparts, but are also not as good as mains or assists as what the other awakened characters or other characters in the S tier are, with the slight exception of Kirito. When awakened Kirito is used as an assist, he gives a 15% boss damage boost that can be used and stacked with all other boss damage buffs with a lower cooldown than Levi. So depending on the game mode you're about to play, you might want to consider using both Levi and Kirito, since that 30% damage is insane. But on the topic of Gear 5 Luffy's awakening, I would only really use him as a main, since his awakening assist buff only gives you about 15% base attack. But again, he has an awakening, which gives him a 5th ability, and that 5th ability makes him a pretty good option as a boss killer. If you want a little bit of a flowchart for what characters you should be awakening first, I would do this. First, awaken Naruto, then awaken Levi. Next, do Kirito, then do Rengoku, and finally, end with Luffy. Then after you awaken Luffy, you can do the gem characters if you want to, but they're not necessary. As always, this list is an absolute since the game is always changing and adding more boss raid characters while also changing features and mechanics. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future updates, since there are going to be more updates that will be covered here on this channel in the future. But if you want to go watch the previous tier list where I go a bit more in depth on the characters, then click on this video right here. Also, all of the other characters that aren't covered in the previous video will be linked down in the description down below. So if you want to go check out, let's say, Tengen, then you can go click on the link that's labeled Tengen. So go watch that previous video right now. And thanks for watching.